Hi, I'm Cara Thorpe, founder and visionary of Yellow Parachute Learning Partners and Yellow Parachute Academy, where great minds don't think alike. And today I want to talk a little bit about healing the heartbreak of underachieving children. This category of student or of child or teen is probably one of the most difficult to navigate for parents because it seems like no matter what parents do, the child does not respond in the way that the parent hopes. They are charming, they are funny, witty, clever, wonderful, and probably have an excellent emotional quotient. Very intelligent when it comes to other people and emotions. And they are able then to use all of their understanding about how people work to avoid responsibility at all costs. So that is literally what your underachiever is doing, is trying to avoid responsibility because somewhere deep down in there, and this is not something that the student is choosing on purpose, but somewhere deep inside, the student perceives responsibility and accountability as a threat, whether it's something that happened early in life or just stress over time or personality, maybe even just insecurity about who they are, whatever the kind of underlying cause. Our underachievers, our classic underachievers, shirk responsibility, and in fact, when praised, may respond in fear because they fear then that they've set an expectation that they will have to continue to keep and meet once again the next time. So our motivational strategies, our cheering, our tough love, all of it kind of seems to backfire when it comes to our underachieving students. And they instead charm us into doing their work for them. If we let them go and kind of let them fail, it only further reinforces the cycle of failure for them. Because they're not going to be the students that pick themselves up off the ground and try. So, what in the world do we do for our underachieving students to help them really understand what it takes to dig in? And most ultimately, the most important thing is that we see them achieving the people who we see that they're capable of being and live healthy and happy and productive lives. Well, there are three big things you can do for the classic underachiever in your life. And the first is remain positive. No matter what gets thrown your way, remain positive. Talk to a friend, call Yellow Parachute Learning Partners, but talk with your spouse. Keep that frustration that you have in a safe place. Certainly you can voice your frustration, but remain positive with your student because that is what he or she needs to feel loved and worthy. So this is really important to an underachieving student, that they feel attached and loved and worthy to you. So do your best to be positive. And number two is in order for the underachiever to become responsible and accountable, he or she first needs to see that they are avoiding responsibility at all costs. So they need to see that gap, why really the gap exists between where they are and where they want to be. A lot of that comes with knowing themselves. So we have a couple of tools on the Yellow Parachute Learning Partners website. We have the Wheel of Life for students, and then for parents, we have 7 days to change your family's life or change the way you think about it. Both of those are really good tools to start simply and actionably with the process of self-exploration, to know even just values and likes and dislikes on a deeper level. Okay, so we're going to remain positive, and then we're going to help the underachiever understand who he or she is, because that will help us unpack that relationship with responsibility and accountability that's really been damaged and that they try to really run away from and avoid. And then the third thing is understanding the power of executive function skills. So if you think of everything you do during the day, you probably have some sort of a calendar, you do different activities throughout the day, perhaps running errands, doing work, other activities around the home, but all of these activities are moderated by executive function skills that you have. So you're planning ahead, you're switching activities, you're regulating your emotions. We all have executive function strengths and weaknesses, and with underachieving students, because there's not a whole lot of practice that they do, these executive function skills may be exceptionally weak in some areas. So this video actually goes along with the blog on the Yellow Parachute website that is going to take you through the main executive function skills, and then you can look at what might be very strong in your student and what might be lacking in order to help fill that gap. So parents, you're not alone if you love an underachieving student, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're great people. They need to know that first and foremost. So if we can remain positive and we can give them the tools to help understand themselves and then the role that executive function plays in their success, they will be on their way to discovering productivity and purpose and ultimately success in life.